Good evening from Europe, still 26th of October, Monday, very late evening here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, guys, whatever you are. Piotr here, this is Liteforex Global YouTube channel. US cash market has been closed, already been closed. We are ahead of the Tokyo Open, blood on the street when it comes to the indices, and that's what we are going to discuss. So let's start with the European DAX, and then we are going to switch to Nasdaq and S&P. When it comes to the DAX, what is important? Well, from the daily chart perspective, the main important thing in my opinion is this swing low breakdown on the daily chart, right? So as you can see, guys, there is a breakdown over here. Now, well, from the daily chart perspective, we can call the latest price movement as a range, right? So in that case, if we are going to double that range, that's gonna be somewhere close to 11,200, and to be honest with you, that's something I'm looking for based on what we have a little bit lower. Oh, I'm sorry guys, a little bit lower unfinished business over here, as well as more to the left. It's an over under, so we have quite a few things here and here, right? So if that's the true breakdown, right, and the bears are taking over, and we are going to double that range, that's the real target, 11,250, 11,200. Now the question is how real the breakdown is. Now, what happened? Well, of course, no relief package, no stimulus package in US, no compromise, no agreement between the Democrats and Republicans, plus rapidly growing new cases of the coronavirus. All of this sending the negative impulse, and we've seen right straight from the open to the downside risk of there was a little bit of the bounce towards the end of the session, especially visible on the US indices. So thing number two is that we are approaching end of the month, so the flow related to the end of the month will dominate. Starts tomorrow or Wednesday, so I would be very careful with the windows cleaning, number one, with the any kind of the vaccine rumors, and three, maybe Pelosi, we're gonna again step in and send the message to the media that yeah, maybe we are going to get that deal, right? So all of this are very fragile things, but might send stocks higher. Now, so that's what I understand, that's my risk, right? So of course my exposure is going to be lower towards the end of the month when it comes to the trading. So overall, the break to the downside is not that significant, right? It's not that significant. So we might see some kind of the rally. Well, I do expect that some guys are going to try to sell a little bit higher, but I'm not gonna be happy with these levels, right? I'm not gonna be happy with 12,350 based on my chart. What I would like to see eventually are the level highers towards Friday low, number one, and number two, this weekly open, and I'm gonna to tell you the levels in a second. Give me a chance. Weekly open, blue dashed line. So in that case, we are talking about the zone between 12,500, 12,600. And yes, in that case, it could be a little bit better. And if we are going to add one more level based on the half of the consolidation, so that's going to be somewhere close to 13,000. So my approach is going to be that zone around the weekly open, right? And then again 50% of the whole consolidation with the breakdown, and my targets are gonna be close to 12,250 when it comes to the DAX. Now let's have a look what we have when it comes to the Nasdaq. Very I wouldn't say very similar situation, but DAX looking a little bit better. As I mentioned, the US indices we're trying, and again Nasdaq is holding based on the closing price, holding very important level, right? So we were talking and set up when it comes to the long based on the Thursday low. Today it was even lower than 11,500, but huge monster recovery here towards the end of the day. So I'm not gonna be surprised, right? Because we recovered half of the full day range, right? So that's quite significant. So again, very similar like in DAX. I do expect some sellers around weekly open, and in that case we are talking about the 11,650 based on my chart, and then today's high and the levels we've seen as a huge supply previous week, 11,730 based on my chart. That's how I see the Nasdaq, and well, it could be easily one-to-one with levels close to 10,500, right? But I see here a little bit bigger picture, and as you know, don't forget that you can monitor my my trading activity. Link is in the description. There are a few different strategies, but anyway, you are going to recognize what it's all about. I think that with market going back to reality, we might see the levels of the latest weakness. It could be somewhere close to 9,600, 9,200 based on that scenario. Well, we will see. I'm not saying we are going to crash now, all right? But that if we are going to speed up to the downside, that could be the case when we are talking about the Nasdaq. Things very interesting when it comes to the S&P 500, right? Again, we are trying to hold very important levels. So we were below 3,400, but towards the end of the day, with the lower shadow, it's gonna be very interesting to see what kind of the action we are going to get tomorrow, right? When it comes to the indices, that's gonna be really very interesting, because if we are going to continue to the downside based on this tiny breakdown, right? So the next level is close to 3,300, 3,280 when it comes to S&P, and then I would say the levels close to 3,200 to 3,150. So that zone over here. With that being said, the bears are the winners when it comes to the Monday trading day. Let's have a look what we are going to get further when it comes to this week. Don't forget, flow related to the end of the month will dominate, and then we have next week US election, so we have to remember somewhere in the background about that. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get back to you again tomorrow with another update. Stay safe, be careful, don't be trapped, and see you around. Take care, goodbye.